Phone numbers. They don't resemble each other, yet in all of them, there's a human voice. Bad days. They don't resemble each other either. On one, you remain silent yourself. On another, the telephone does. Yesterday, your phone died. But it's not just people who die. Phone numbers die too. Throughout your life, you'll forget many numbers. Your passport number, your last salary at your previous job, your friend's car plate, the distance to the moon, the population of the city you live in. Many numbers. You'll forget them all. Except for these five. These 5 digits, in this exact sequence, were the most precious gift to you. 5 numbers, her voice, and the violet scent lingering on the receiver. Sometimes, when I lifted the black receiver, it felt as if I were lifting the lid of a grand piano. Sometimes, when I placed it down, it felt like closing the lid of a coffin. Now, that number no longer exists. Or, rather, it does, but not for me. To me, that number is now a forbidden territory. These 5 digits, once at my fingertips on the telephone dial, are now an insurmountable distance. Kilometers, miles, parsecs. I could cross 4/5 of that distance. I could dial 4 numbers. But I would never ever dial the 5th. Your number is a closed door. I've lost the key. I didn't even need to see you. I'd call, hear your voice, and say, "My dear, why are your hands so cold?" I didn't need to see you, yet I could sense you, just as the people of coastal villages sense the sea, even when they cannot see it. And now, the sea is gone, vanished, the same story, repeated 1,000 times. Me, you, and of course, him, and also the telephone. It all began at Rasim's wedding. Firuz was making a toast. We were 5 friends, just like in that movie, remember? They were 5. Me, Kamal, Murad, Rasim, and Seymour. They conquered us one by one, put us all under the yoke. Our wives, that is. And now we have entire families at home. Wives, children. Yes, they crushed us, buried us under responsibilities. Everyone laughed. Today, we are losing Rasim. What a pity. Of course, I'm joking. Be happy, Farida, Rasim. I wish you joy, health, and a long life. May you have sons and daughters. But we've already drunk to your happiness, and will do so again. Now, I want to raise this glass to the last warrior, standing. Our beloved Seymour, he is still a bachelor, still free. May he stay strong, sing like a nightingale, and never be caged. When the guests began to leave, Firuz, Kamal, Murad, their wives, and I, alone, stepped out together. We strolled through the sleeping city, the deserted night streets, when suddenly Firuz's wife took my arm. So, Seymour, when are we celebrating your wedding? In the distant future. Why so far away? Don't tell me you believe this nonsense. She playfully snuggled against her husband. Do you think marriage is hell? He can't find a girl worthy of him, he said. Really? Did you hear that, everyone? Let's find Seymour a girl. If we find the most beautiful girl in Baku for you, will you marry her? Absolutely, I said. But on one condition, you must find her right now, at this exact moment. Otherwise, I might change my mind. My dear, he said, where are we going to find you a girl at this hour? We won't just pick someone off the street. And you wouldn't marry a girl wandering the streets at this time of night, would you? Said Kamal. Exactly, I said. You're absolutely right. So, let's drop this topic. I have an idea. Let's find a girl for Seymour. By phone. There's a phone booth right here, said Firuz. Brilliant idea, I said. But I don't have a 2-kopeck coin. Everyone handed me 2-kopeck coins. I stepped into the booth. Say the number, Firuz. Just dial any number that comes to mind, he said. For example, suddenly he hesitated. No, wait, what if you don't get along with her mother-in-law? You'll come after me for it. Coward, I said. That's the point. Marriage is a serious matter. No one wants to take responsibility. Kamal, maybe you give me a number. I have an idea. Firuz's wife chimed in. She always had an idea. Since no one wants to take responsibility, let's share it. Everyone says 1 digit. Great idea, he said. He always approved of his wife's ideas. 2. I dialed 2. Firuz's wife said, 9. 0, Kamal said, and looked at his wife. Your turn. Me? I don't know. Fine, 4. 5, said Murad. Only Murad's wife didn't say anything, because by then, the receiver was already emitting disconnected signals. My fiancé is asleep, I said with a smile. Everyone laughed. I hung up. We continued walking, slowly parting ways, each going to our own home, and for some reason, I felt incredibly lonely. I returned to the seaside park and wandered along the deserted boulevard for a long time, gazing at the dark sea and the distant colorful buoys. Suddenly, I remembered the phone number I had dialed. It was 2 in the morning. I entered the nearest phone booth, inserted a 2-kopeck coin, and dialed the number. A woman's voice came through the receiver. Sleepy, just slightly tired, and mildly surprised. Yes? Hello? Hello? Who is this? It's me. Let's get acquainted.